Hi everyone. I hope you can hear me very well. So, good morning to everybody. I am welcoming you to this exceptional event. Myself, I'm very happy to be among the speakers this morning. My name is Angelique Ondoa. I am Managing Director for the OA Consulting Group. It's a firm that is based in Cameroon. Myself, I'm a Cameroonian native. And OA Consulting Group is subdivided into three sections. We have a third section, and we create digital solution to sell products, African-made products. So today I would like us to discuss about creating more digital markets for African designers exposition. Africa fashion means the past, the future, and the present at the same time. The joy of life and the joy of color is completely different and very particular to the continent. It's a language of heritage, it's a language of DNA, it's a language of memories. And this is all what African fashion is about. Africa on itself is a continent that is full of mystery. The Lagos Fashion Week has shown some of the most exciting fashion talents from across the African continent over the past 10 years. Because Africa is actually facing fashion's futures, and through these designers who show the vibrancy and the creativity of the continent, which is quickly becoming famous for it. You can take, for example, what I'm wearing is made by an African designer that I work with for my brand, and even the dress that I'm wearing. We Africans, we illustrate, sorry, a lot of our designs through the color, through the fabrics, through the materials, and through the elements. I don't know if you can see from the screen, this is actually coming. You can find it either from the Kenyan or either from the Ghanaian culture. That is where you find it. So we in Africa, the way we see fashion is colorful, is joyful, is festive, it's representing our mood of character, it's representing the way we see life. Launched the pilot phase of a digital market to help African fashion designers into textile, into accessories, professionals, to connect with a global market. Now, the launch of this took place on the 25th November 2019 at the Global Gender Summit, and this gathered more than 1,500 representatives from multicultural development banks, from finance institutions, from governments and private sector leaders in Kigali, Rwanda. Myself, I was in Kigali, Rwanda, not for the event, but for another event, and I saw a lot of beautiful things that this platform, this digital market was capable of doing, not only for the fact that it could gather a whole lot of diversified designers, but actually because of the power that it could actually trigger in terms of sales. So African has a history of mixed cultures, and why the elements of that have either been detrimental or beneficial, if I can use the word, to a specific part of Africa, uh, the elements of the design from this culture have been integrated into everyday societies. Like in every society, you will see a bit of African design. If, for example, I take on South Africa, South Africa is a country that has 11 languages, multiple cultures, and multiple traditional tribal kingdoms. Now, if one of these cultures is dominant at the expense of the others, that impacts directly on the diversity and the inclusion, because it will be blurred to be identifying elements of a whole nation and to making it only into one culture and leaving aside the other cultures which are also important. Now, a second example would be my own country, which is Cameroon. And Cameroon is a very rich and diversified country. Like, it is made up of about 250 indigenous population, and there are just as many languages in terms as well as many different outfits, many different dishes, and people are so diversified. And if you have to represent only Cameroon, which is nicknamed Little Africa, through fashion, now which of them are you going to take? Which will you leave aside? So all this I've been researching, I've been working on it, and I've been trying to see what can be the possible solution to bring all of these diversified designers and onto one table and permit them to expose their creation to the rest of the world. So if I come back now to the African Development Bank, the Fashionomics Africa Digital Marketplace website and the mobile app sponsored by the Fund of the African Private Sector is the latest innovation from the Fashionomics Africa. It is actually a platform enabling African entrepreneurs from the textile, apparel, and accessory industries to create and grow their businesses with a focus on opportunities for women and young people. So it is the first ever B2B, that is business to business and business to consumer platform that has ever been created for micro, for small and medium-sized enterprises that are working along this value chain. Now, the aim of these digital markets actually is to connect suppliers, buyers, manufacturers, distributors to consumers and investors, to increase access and grow markets, to facilitate trade within Africa and worldwide. The digital marketplace and app operate through secure e-commerce and online payment system. So these are the research, my personal outcomes from the analysis that I did after working on this, and see what would be the benefits for African designers, especially for those in countries where they can't easily have access, for example, to some of these um, digital facilities, digital solutions. So creating a digital marketplace or several digital marketplaces will be a game changer for Africa's fashion entrepreneurs to be able to reach regional and international markets and increase their revenues. Were really impressed, and the fashion moment was very diversifying, especially during the lockdown. So now, what did she or what did this designer achieve? Now, the potential of the technology to transform the digital fashion or the traditional way of doing fashion into digital fashion show into the spectacle that African designers also have their way into the digital markets, or to use this tool to actually present themselves to the rest of the world. It also shows the spotlight of innovation in the West African fashion world, where the designers are more and more eager to reinvent their marketing strategies, present what are what elements to use in working with, so that we can create a mutualization with other designers who are already well known in the fashion industries, and also to help to be like mentors to these young designers. So apart from these ones, there are other designers also, like for example, Iman and Yisi from Cameroon, they can do, and to also have a voice, to also have, to also have the possibility to present themselves. So in conclusion, my conclusion, of course, the visual experience seems to have truly embraced African luxury fashion, but it's important that we also, the channel should go down to the younger ones or to the new designers who are just joining the industry. Now, we all know that in the digital is the future and the present, but the area of fashion has not yet completely taken a greater portion of the market in terms of digital fashion. So African fashion is rising right now. African designers need to develop their unique business models and have to be more innovative and more creative. This is what I will advise. Secondly, to do so, digital is clean. It is a tool that African designers must use to truly leverage to their advantage. Okay, they have to feel being it the material, the fabrics, being it, okay, the elements that they use or the colors. We have to use this to fit in the design and the vibrancy of the pattern. The fashion business has traditionally thrived on personal attention and to face-to-face contact. But now with the digital, things are changing, things are evolving, things are developing, and we as African designers, we need to follow the change. And lastly, we need to reimagine the role of technology. Like, why should we really, what is the use of it into the fashion industry? For example, to leverage the growth of the industry for Africans, especially maybe Central Africa, North Africa, and some other parts. And also to put in, to look up onto online traditional tools and mobile money platforms to build resilience and to prepare the future for the generation that is coming. So this is what I wanted to share with you. Inside the presentation, the slides we're not going through. I'm sorry about that, but the images that you're seeing are actually some designs, some fabrics and some designs from Lowy Africa, one of these, a native or a Kenyan designer based in Kenya, and who is working actually with OA Consulting for the brand F African. So thank you very much for following, and bye-bye.